You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, guys, on our podcast, you know it's all about lawns, lessons, life, and helping you guys grow a real, authentic lawn care business. Guys, we love getting the best of the best information we can from our mouth to your ears and just helping you guys grow a successful company. And a lot of times that's, solo podcasts and episodes and some thought process that's helping us grow our business that we want to share with you guys and help you guys grow yours. And then other times we get some great thought process and some great funny stories and get some motivation and inspiration from you guys. And today is nonetheless, we've got somebody who's going to be doing just that for us. We got my friend Will Knapp joining us all the way down from beautiful Alabama. So Will, good morning. Welcome to the show, brother.
Good morning, Brian.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Super excited about today. We're wrapping up the week. We've got, it's Thursday when we're recording this. So the guys are out there finishing up the route. We had a beautiful holiday weekend. Things are going good in our neck of the woods, man. How about yourself?
Awesome. Yes, sir. Things couldn't be any better down here. Other than a little bit of lack of rain, we're staying busy.
Okay. Is grass still growing pretty well? I'm not as familiar with down south turf, so I feel like sometimes it's kind of inverse of what we get. So the hotter it gets, I'm learning from Jeremiah Jennings, the more it tends to grow, or how does that work?
Yes, sir. So, we had about a month ago, we had some weeks where it was hitting almost 100. And it's like I couldn't keep up with it. Now the temperatures, they're around high 80s to low 90s, and things are slowing down a little bit due to the lack of rain, but we're still staying busy. Stuff is still growing like crazy.
That's awesome. Well, heck yeah, that's has it been a pretty good season for you guys so far overall with weather conditions and mowing conditions? How's the season going for you guys?
Oh, definitely. It's been a pretty wet season. We've definitely had our times where we could need some rain, like today, for example. But yes, sir. It's just been the perfect mix of all the conditions that we need to keep a good long season. That's
good. Well, we're going into September. We got a couple more months to get under our belt, and then we'll be doing leaves and fall cleanups. And then for a lot of my up north and Midwest folks, we'll be shifting gears to plowing snow, which is never a dull moment. Guys, get your snowplow contracts at Entrepreneur Academy. I'm starting to see quite a few of those sell, and super appreciate the support. But we just got 2 more back yesterday. One was a reoccurring flat rate monthly contract, which is nice. So I know we're securing 25% of our monthly payroll off of that account, and then we got a new per pushback ourselves, Will. So I'm growing my business every day, just like you guys are. So good times. Well, hey, what we're going to be talking about today is a little bit about your startup story and how you got started cutting grass. You reached out to me via Instagram, and it took us a couple weeks to line up. I just literally am slammed packed. Thursday's my social media day where I get to do coaching calls and podcast interviews. So we've been trying to link up for a couple weeks now, but do you want to give these guys maybe the 30 to 60 second kind of the highlight reel, I call it, and we'll let them know your background, your story, and then we're going to break some things down today.
This all first started when I was 15. I went on a camping trip with some family friends, and we had some other friends that were staying in a different camper. Turns out this girl's boyfriend was over there, and he said, "Hey, how do you feel about cutting grass with me?" I said, "Yeah, man, sure." So, I started with him. I was just weed eating, and I loved it. It's like I was always ready for work. Mm-hmm. So we went out there, and it was my first job. I loved it. And then we got about 2 seasons in. So I guess, 15, that was one season. 16 was the second. And I got a text one day from him. It was early in the year, probably March. He said, "Hey, man, I hurt my back." He's only 26. He said, doctor said I can't do this anymore. Would you like to take over the business? I said, "Oh, absolutely. I'd love to."
Wow.
He said, "Okay." Yeah, it was crazy. So he said, "Okay, here's the client." We had a lot of clients built up, but only about 18 called him for next season. So I started out with about 18 clients. I drove all the way to the other side of the state to find me a mower, so I had to get all my own equipment. And from there, we've grown it to over 50 clients and 2 business accounts.
Whoa! In just this last 12 months.
Yes, sir. So yes, sir. My first season started last March. So
that's awesome. So you've had some pretty crazy growth, and you're the ripe old age of what, 32 years old? You were saying earlier.
Yes, sir.
No, you're how old are you again?
I'm 18. 18
years old. That's awesome. So you got 50 accounts at 18 years old, and it's turning into quite a small business, and that's going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. We're hoping to take it to the moon.
That's awesome, brother. That's awesome. Well, we'll do this. We'll take a quick break here. I'm going to shift gears just really quick. We like to incorporate our show sponsors and announcements just to give you guys the latest and greatest about what we got going on. Broadly speaking, in all things Entrepreneur Academy, Fullerton Unfiltered, Brian's Law Maintenance. But I do want to hear a lot more from Will today, and how he not only got started in the business, but how he was able to grow from just a half dozen customers up to 50 in just a short little while here. So, Will, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're coming back to you, my friend. So you're on deck, and we'll come on back.
Installing traditional snow stakes is time-consuming, expensive, and downright dangerous. Traditional fiberglass stakes cost as much as double, take twice as long to install, not to mention fiberglass splinters. That's where Plow-Right marking stakes come in. Our patented installation tool and carrying pack make snow stake installation a breeze, installing up to 450 stakes an hour. Want the fastest and best snow stake system on the market? Look no further than Plow-Right marking stakes. Our stakes are made of hollow polypropylene, which will not crack, break, or splinter like traditional fiberglass stakes. 3 size options, 26, 36, and 46 inches, and 5 standard colors: orange, green, blue, red, and hot pink. Want more visibility than our standard stakes? Look no further than our reflective stakes, which sport a 2-inch 3M reflective band that is the highest grade reflective material ever put on a snow stake. Truly let your stakes be seen. Visit plow-right.com and order yours today. And make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% at checkout. The link is in the podcast description. And best of all, everything is 100% made in the USA.
All right, guys, we're going to jump right back into it. Will, we are headed right back over to you. So 18 years old, 50 mowing accounts, and a couple commercial, it sounds like, which is exciting. And let me ask you this. So give me the startup story one more time. So you had a friend's cousin that had a business, and then he got hurt and wanted you to take it over. Is that right?
It was a friend's boyfriend.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Met him on a camping trip, and he got hurt our second season into doing it. I mean, he's been doing it since he was 16, but he got hurt and asked me if I'd like to take over.
Okay. So did you buy it off of him, or did he just give you the accounts, if you don't mind me asking? Because that's an interesting startup story.
Yes, sir. So he, I guess, I mean, we were really tight. I mean, we would hang out on the weekends. We'd go hunting together, kayaking all the time. He actually lives 4 houses down from me. I never knew it until then. And he never mentioned the price or anything. He just said, "Hey, man, here's the clients. You can maintain them. You can have it," pretty much.
Okay.
And I took it from there and I ran with it.
Wow, that's awesome. And how many accounts did he give you at the time?
I want to say around the time it was about 18 different names and phone numbers. And as they would slowly roll in, I maybe got 2 or 3 more throughout the season, just people calling to see if he would come cut. It was just reoccurring clients. They were just wondering why he wasn't there.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Did you plan to start a lawn care landscaping business, or were you like 16, 17, 18 years old just trying to make some extra money, or like where were you at mentally, and what were you trying to do financially back then?
So back then, I guess I said it was my first job. It actually wasn't. My first job, my mom found it on Facebook. There was somebody trying to open a pizza shop, and they were needing someone to clean the tiles. So for a week straight, I was on my knees with like a razor blade cleaning these tiles. Man, my knees had no skin left on them.
Oh no!
Wouldn't get paid much, and it was crazy. So I found that job, and I was like, okay. So ever since I was little, I've always thought lawn care was the coolest thing. I always wanted to get out and cut the grass. This was just my opportunity to do it, and I took advantage of it.
Wow. Okay. So you didn't totally hate the job, but you also knew this wasn't for you, and this wasn't what you wanted to do at 17, 18 years old, right?
Yes, sir. It just all kind of came down on me.
They didn't try to move you to pizza cutter or cashier or box guy or something, or what?
So it looks like the business never even opened. We did all that work for nothing to happen.
Oh, wow.
I just never got a call back, and I was like, well, I already have this job lined up, so let's see how I do.
Wow. Okay. Well, fair enough. Did you intend on, mowing grass and making a go of this thing? Or what was your thoughts, getting into lawn care? Like, did you want to be outside, and were you just like, hey, 15, 18, 20 bucks an hour is a lot better than $10 an hour? Or what was your thought there?
So the pay was really no better. I mean, I think I was getting about 100 a day cleaning tiles or scraping tiles, which, I mean, I know that kind of sounds like a lot for scraping tiles, but it was a lot of grease on the floor. So I was getting about 100 a day, 2 days a week cutting grass. And I always enjoyed being outside. So, I mean, we would cut Thursdays and Fridays. Wednesday night through Saturday, I wouldn't even sleep. I was so excited to get out there and cut. I just loved it.
Yeah. Okay. And how you and your friend, it was his business, but you were working for him, and then he said, hey, you can take this thing over. Were you thinking, hey, I can run this business? Or because you went from employee to being a business owner, within that couple month window, what was that transition like? So
it was definitely a lot on my plate, especially between school, because I was a junior in high school at the time.
Okay.
And luckily, both of my parents are business owners. My dad owns a very successful pool business, and my mom, she owns a business, right? She makes T-shirts and all that, so she has her own shop. So I definitely had the right people around me to lead me in the right direction, and I couldn't be more thankful for that. But it was still a lot, to balance school and tests and hanging out with friends and having to work at the same time. It was a lot on my plate.
Yeah, absolutely. Did you decide to grow the business, that whole next 12 months, or because you were going to go in the senior year, so I would imagine between balancing school and work and friendships and hanging out, it is a lot, man, for a high schooler. I'm always impressed that you guys are able to do so much, but that is a lot. That's a full plate.
Yes, sir. So my goal was to grow it. I said, okay, if I'm going to take this over, I mean, it's going to have to pay well for me to be out here, and I'm going to make the most out of it. So I was never good at sports. Always saw my friends getting hurt playing sports, tearing ACLs and all that. So they thought I was crazy when I showed up to school, and I said, I'd rather break my body down making some money working than break it down on a field and not get paid anything.
Fair.
So I just decided to do whatever it took to grow it. Go bang on doors, pay for Facebook ads, talk to people, just word of mouth to really help me a lot.
That's awesome. Were you thinking about taking the business as big as it is today? Like, when did you decide to really make a go of this thing? Because I would imagine you had another year left in high school. Did you probably graduate this spring, I guess?
Yes, sir. I graduated in May.
Okay. Did you were you thinking about going to college, or were you thinking, hey, I got a good small business going, I can take this thing to the moon? What if you don't mind me asking, because that's a lot of people's conversation at 17, 18, 19 years old for these younger guys listening in.
Yes, sir. So, well, my dad, he never went to college, never pushed me to go to college. My mom, she was actually a teacher for the whole time I was in school. She became a teacher right when I was in kindergarten, and
that's cool.
She really influenced me to do great in school. So I had a 4.0 GPA. I did great on everything. I mean, I could get a full ride to college. And about the time I graduated, I had 35 clients. And I was like, I'm not making all this money to go into debt. I'm making too much profit. I enjoy what I do. People are happy with my work. So if I'm making stuff this good right now, where could it be in the next 4 years, with how long I've been in college?
Sure.
So I graduated with probably right under 40 clients. And since May, I mean, we're in September now, so I've grown it to about 50. And I mean, the phone rings. I'm blessed every time it does. I mean, it's just always great getting new work.
That's awesome. What's the vision for the company, generally speaking? Because obviously that's you're 18, got the whole world ahead of you, so no right or wrong answer. But do you want to potentially grow this thing to multi-millions? Do you want to stay owner operator, maybe have 50, 80 accounts and do some landscaping on the weekends. What's the thought process there?
So the vision for this business is to eventually always keep it growing, always evolve, never slow down, always try new things. And where I want to go from here in the next few years is eventually get a skid steer, get me a trailer that can haul a skid steer, so a good gooseneck. I already have a Chevy 2500, so that's plenty to pull it. And I'm wanting to eventually clear land, sit in AC in a cab all day, and have a crew running the lawn care side of things. So
I like it.
That's the vision.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that's you could do $500,000 to $1 million, done right with you doing some good hardscaping, landscaping, lane clearing, and have a couple guys out mowing, doing the deal. You got great cash flow, and then you got some great high profit jobs that you can mix in between there, right?
Definitely.
I've seen that business model more and more. There's a lot of guys, myself included, that are kind of navigating towards that way. I know a lot of hardscaper, landscaper guys do that. People poo-poo on lawn maintenance, but I'm like, there's just something about having 5, 10, 20, 50,000 in recurring monthly income with cash flow for lawn maintenance to fund the bills, fund the hobby for everything else. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's it definitely funds my hobbies, and it's always nice to know that every month I go out there and I bring home about the same. So with a lot of other things in life, you such as pressure washing, for example, you're always hunting the next client.
Mm-hmm.
With lawn care, you get your person, and they're usually with you all season and many seasons to come. So it's always reassuring to have that.
That's awesome. If you ever get a chance, it can't be that far from you, but Blake Steele's over there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
I said you guys should go link up. You guys sound like two peas in a pod, man.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. There's I tell all you young guys, man, network, make friends, learn from each other, keep each other motivated. We didn't have any of this kind of stuff growing up. I mean, everybody that was your competition, they would just mean mug you, and they wouldn't share any tips or secrets, and you had to make friends. I mean, today you got YouTube videos, podcasts, and then of course like Facebook chats and groups and text message groups. Like, that's awesome, man. So great job. Let me ask you this: you're down south. How are you guys navigating the heat? I know I hear Jeremiah Jennings. He's got a great podcast, Growing Green podcast. He's not complaining, but complaining. That it's 100 degrees, 110 degree real feels. I complain sometimes on Instagram. Hey, it's a hot day. It's 88 degrees, and I get trolled. From all you guys. Man, you don't even know what real hot is. And that's true. That's true. Admittedly, like, I don't know how some of you guys do it in 103, 109 degree real feels. So what is the weather like down there? Is it that oppressive sometimes with that crazy down south heat?
Oh, definitely. There's no one over exaggerates that tells you that it is hot. I mean, you step out of the truck and your sunglasses fog up. It's terrible.
Wow.
The humidity is always high, but yes, sir. You just have to keep pushing through it. You got to get through the day, and you got to check people off that schedule. So you just got to keep going. A lot of water breaks. Hop in the truck if you need to cool off. But you really just enjoy that breeze every chance you get.
Yeah. Do you guys do you take multiple shirts and change out a couple times a day? Some of those guys do that.
No, sir. So what I've actually started doing this season is I just wear shorts and a t-shirt, and then when it comes time to weed eat, I walk back to the truck, slip the shoes off, put some jeans and a belt on, and get back after it. So. Oh,
really? Okay. So you're.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. Have you seen what are they called? The comfort trims. Have you seen those? Like the short. They look like for your legs, for your shins. It's like a netted. I'm not doing any justice here for my friend that owns that business. He sent me a box of them. I just literally told him, I said, hey, I'll do a video on them when I can. I said, no charge. I mean, he's a small business owner guy, but the comfort trims, everybody go check out Comfort Trims. I think Brian's 10 code could work there. If not, shoot him an email and like, hey, why doesn't Brian's 10 work? But it should work. But they're these like elastic kind of like shin guards that are mesh netting on the backside so they breathe. In the front is a, just like like a plastic or a heavy, like kind of polyester material that just stops from all the grass clippings hitting your shin. So you can wear shorts with them, and then you can just have this like shin guard thing on. Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you seen these?
I haven't, but that's really cool. I'm going to have to check that out.
Hey, you send me your address and I'll email you. The guy sent me 3 samples. I'm gonna go give 2 to the crew and I'll send you a pair.
Yes, sir.
There you go. I think he sent me like some American red, white, and blue ones, some camo ones, and maybe like the traditional like black ones or something like that. But they're really cool. I don't for real. If you guys are listening into the show, if I live down south, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I could do pants, year round like that. Because I wear pants year round up here, and our hottest days are 90, and I wear the Cujo pants, and those breathe. But yeah, I know a bunch of guys that will like wear multiple shirts and change them out, and they just soak and sweat, and that's crazy. With doing outside lawn care work, have you found any interest in doing landscaping, like any landscape installs or bed maintenance?
So it's crazy, but around here, I don't know if I just don't have the right clients yet, or if there's just not a market for it down here yet. But I mean, mulch and pine straw, that's about as much as you get around here. Now up in Huntsville, I have a buddy named Caden Rye, and he does a lot of that stuff up in Huntsville. And down here, I don't know if we're just content with whatever we get, but up there he does some great work, and they pay really good. But down here we just don't have that.
That's fair. I mean, some markets aren't for like aeration. Some guys are like, dude, it's not a thing where I live. And then other people, they're like, they make a killing doing aerations. You know what I mean? Like Jeremiah is launching his bin pressure washing business for trash bins, and he's like, it doesn't even exist here. And I'm like, dude, we get postcards now. There's 10 different companies in our area that wash your bins. And by the way, I'm a bin washing aficionado. I love the idea. I think it's I think it's a brilliant business. I love it. I think Jeremiah's going to get rich, and I hope he does. I think I would literally sign up to have mine washed every week. I despise a disgusting trash bin. Like I'd take $50 disposable income and have that thing washed out once a week, once a month, whatever it is, sign me up. But, nonetheless, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, it'll get there, but pine straw, then mulch, that can be exceedingly profitable. I know that.
Oh, for sure. It definitely keeps me busy when things start to slow down. So
that's awesome. I think just as a conspiracy theorist, I think all of our fall leaf cleanups, all from all of our pine straw, I think they just filter it out and then they just give it down to you guys and you just resell it back to the customers. I don't know if you like grow pine straw. I don't know what that is or how that's a thing, but for all my southern folks out there, I'm in Michigan, folks. We always joke like that's a leaf cleanup. Like we pay to get that out of everybody's beds. Like we'll rake that up and bag it, or maybe take it over with the mowers and vacuum it. But that pine straw is pretty thick, obviously, and it can clump up, and especially when it's wet. But you guys install that by the was it the barrel or the bushel down there?
Yes, sir. So it's like a little hay bale. It's like handheld, just a bale of pine straw, and I think down here it's like maybe $8 to $10 a bale.
What do you guys? What do you install it for?
Sir,
what do you install it for? Like, how much do you put it down for?
Oh, so around here, I think let's say it's like $10 a bale. Install will be $14 to $15 a bale. So
that's fascinating.
There's a little bit of profit in it, but if you 10 bales, you're only making $50. It's not enough to get you out of bed in the mornings, but if you need some extra cash, it's always there. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. It's fascinating me. It's fascinating. One of the, I don't know if this relates, but it's like one of the greatest tricks the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. I feel like it's the same thing with pine straw baling. It's like convincing down south that you guys need that stuff. It's just, with respect to my down south people, it looks hideous. I don't understand the appeal, but hey man, if it's what they do down there and they like making money, I went with Jeremiah Jennings and Caleb Brittany Allman to we rented a small home over in Destin, Florida. Beautiful area, and all the landscaping down there had pine straw, and my wife and I were like, bro, what is going on down here? It looks awful. But you know what? You guys might say the same thing coming up north about mulch or, whatever we do. So, but hey, smart to diversify, smart to add that as a service. If people are asking for it, of course, knock it out, go put that in. And like you said, if you need to make up some quick cash and make $100, $200 to buy a new hand tool or pay a quick insurance bill, that could be a great way to do it.
Absolutely.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, let me ask you this. I want to maybe shift gears a little bit. We'll probably taper this thing here in just a minute, but let me Let me ask you this. You're 18. What's some great business advice that really holds true to you? Something that's really maybe helped you navigate your entrepreneurial journey this last, 24 to 36 months. I know you're probably learning a bunch of stuff every single day. I know before we hit the record button on the show, you said you listen to podcasts and you're working on yourself and trying to self-develop. What's some good business advice you've heard lately, or some things that have been a little bit like a true north for you as you're going into self-employment and running your own business?
So there's a few things, I've learned the past couple months. One of the first things I was able to take away is I saw this quote about a year ago, and I don't know who wrote it, but it said, "Do what you love what you do, and money will find you." And that's held true. I mean, I wake up every morning blessed to be doing what I love, and I'm just always passionate about it, and the clients keep coming in. So it's always great to have that. And another thing, just like everybody else says, please reinvest in yourself. I went too long without doing it. My first season, I didn't. The beginning of this season, I bought another razor. I mean, I was out in the shop. I texted Brian last night. I was out there late working on that, getting it ready for this weekend.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
I mean, just, you have to reinvest in yourself. In the past month, I mean, we've gotten another 3 or 4 clients, a business account, just went and upgraded to a 16-foot trailer. I never knew how much a 12-foot trailer was holding me back. Went and thought I was doing a good thing by buying a Walker mower. Turns out it had a blown motor. Actually sold that about 8:30 last night.
Oh, wow.
You guys roll up in a moving van, and I thought that I was about to get snatched up. So they were actually there to buy it. So
that's awesome.
Happy about that.
Yeah, it's 10 a.m. here. I'm like, hey, where's Will at? I'm waiting for your phone call. Dude, my mom is the king or the queen or whatever you're going to call it of selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace. And man, I'm just like, she's sold hundreds of things. And I'm like, how have you not been just snatched up, bro? Like, but I digress. But so reinvesting is really paying dividends for you. So like mentally and then also financially or equipment wise, you're saying?
Definitely. I mean, Brian says it all the time. If you don't have the right equipment for a job, it's really going to hold you back. I mean, you never really realize how much faster you can get stuff done with the right equipment. I've taken yards that would take me 2 hours. You learn them, get the right equipment, and I can do them in under 45 minutes. I mean, every second of time you save is valuable. You can't buy back time. There's no $ amount worth on time.
Mm. Yeah, I love that. I mean, we're in the exact same boat, man. So I love what you're sharing there. There's sites that we've acquired that we're getting into and getting more of, and we're looking for some bigger mowers, some wider mowers. Actually, by the time this podcast comes out, I think we should be able to talk about some of the new product that came out with the X-Mark. Let me look really quick because, that should all be coming out. Yeah, this will air next week, so that'll be cool. So the X-Mark videos hopefully should have dropped by now, and you guys have saw they got some 72-inch stand-ons, which is really, really cool for all my X-Mark friends out there. Some like 38, 39.5 horsepower engines, which is just wild. But I mean, time is money, like you said. Anything to get the job done faster, from a tractor to mini skids, all these guys that are still using wheelbarrows and shovels. And I'm just like, why? And Caleb Allman champions that a ton on his podcast. And they just picked up some new equipment with a steel wrist rotator thing. I don't even know what the hell that is, but it looks awesome. But instead of like buying silly things, especially when you're 17, 18, 19, 20, I'm telling you, like, nobody's going to care what you bought at 20 years old to impress your friends. But if you buy that next truck or trailer or mower and you really, allow yourself to rev this machine into high gear, that will, mark my words, pay you big dividends within a handful of years, and you'll be so glad you made those investments.
Oh, definitely. And what I found when I started is you have to do what you have to do to get in the right equipment. I mean, for me, we have a riding mower here. I was comfortable in a zero turn from my previous job working for that guy. So I had my first truck. I sold it, bought a cheaper truck to have some money, went and bought my mower. And then a couple months later, sold that truck for what I have now so that I'd have a more reliable truck to get me by. It's all about what I had to do to get to where I needed to be.
I love that. And again, like, don't let it hold you back.
Right.
We've basically given Jeremiah like 5 free shout outs, but hey, Central Alabama, I feel like it's a fair game, but he was in the same boat. He bought some Mac Daddy, nice, big dog truck. I forget what it was, a 2500 or something like that, Chevy maybe, and maybe even 250. I don't even know, but I know he sold it and downgraded his truck for about maybe 2 years or something like that. And then more recently, he was able to re-up and reinvest into a nicer truck to pull some other nicer equipment that he bought. So yeah, I'm right there with you. My wife and I say, I've taught my wife this, and she would say the exact same thing. And this is stuff that we hope to send to our kids is like, you have to be willing to give up anything at any time if you want to go to the next level. Like, you can't let things hold you back, material things. And I don't care if it's cars, I don't care if it's watches, I don't care if it's clothes, I don't care if it's a house. For real, I told my wife, I said, we have to be comfortable enough to walk away from our custom home if we really wanted to pursue something to go to the next level. And that's like literally how burn the boat, scorched earth we are as a family. Because if you don't, you will be addicted to that material item. And that's like tough talk. That might be a whole nother podcast for another time. But man, I got people that, not my encouragement to do, but just I've had coaching calls with people and they're like, hey, I'm thinking about selling my home, pulling a bunch of equity out, paying off a bunch of debt, renting a home, getting this business going. Wasn't anything where I'm like, hey, you should do that. But I'm like, hey man, I think you got a sound plan. It's all about you with executing. And then 3 or 4 years later, they have their whole finances back in order. But man, then they have to downshift to make some huge pivots in life to clean up a bunch of bad decisions and bad choices. And they'd admit that too. To then clean up a bunch of stuff by making a bunch of rash, good choices that other people might criticize them off the face of the earth. What are you doing with your life? And they're like, I'm getting my life in order. Like, I got to shift some gears, man. So I love what you said there, dude. That I could rant on that for 20 more minutes, but I love what you're doing, man. Reinvest in. We say it on every show. Invest in your future. Invest in yourself. That's Entrepreneur Academy. That's your guys' business. And man, I can tell you're already doing that. And it seems like it's paying big dividends. So just want to say congrats on the past growth, the current growth, and dude, we're rooting for you, man. Hopefully everything continues to grow and you have nothing but a great rest of this season, and of course many more to come. So. Hey, I'll kick it over to you, man. Final thoughts, anything you want to leave these guys, but man, super appreciate taking a quick minute of your morning and joining us on the show and pouring into these guys and giving them some encouragement.
Yes, sir. So just for some final thoughts, just always have the open mind of, getting new clients and being excited, even on the bad days. I've had people walk up to me, see me cut their neighbor's grass, and sometimes it'll be the worst day. And they'll just walk up, hey, can you cut my grass? Oh, that makes my day. It's awesome. So just always pull up with a smile on your face, know that you're going to do the best job you can, even though you're burnt out at the end of the day, you're hot, hungry, tired. We all are. We all go through it every single day. But just always work with a smile on your face. Have great customer service. You have to. If a client texts you, text them back. If they have an issue, resolve the issue. Earlier this week on Labor Day, I was cutting. I knocked somebody's water spout off of their house. It started shooting water everywhere.
Oh no!
First mess up I've ever had. Oh yeah, it was bad. You couldn't get anybody out there.
Right.
So my dad builds pools. He came over there. He knows a lot about plumbing because of pools, and he came over there. We fixed it. Turned her water back on. She was fine. But just always be ready for problems to come up. Have great customer service. Like I said, we got her problem fixed. No money out of her pocket. She was still happy at the end of the day. And, just always do the best you can because you don't know who's out there watching.
Yeah. Amen to that. Customer service is everything, man. I love it. Dude, great point. I got some great funny customer service ones. Maybe I'll save for another podcast another time. We rented up a yard the week before and, customer's not happy, but we took care of it, and you got to go above and beyond and make sure that everybody's happy at the end of the day, right? So
that's all it's about.
That's right, man. That's right. Awesome, man. Well, that's all I got. We'll kind of wrap it up right there. Super appreciate you taking time today. Are you going back out to mow for the rest of the afternoon, or what do you got going on for the rest of the day, brother?
Yes, sir. So we actually, it sounds like you cut towards the beginning of the week. Our schedule starts from Friday back. We've always done, you want a great yard for the weekend. So started yesterday, caught up on a lot of today's work. And today we have 2 businesses and 5 or 6 residential. So it's a really slow day. But I just figured I might as well sleep in a little bit, hop on the podcast, and just make a day out of it. So that's what I decided to do.
I love it. That's like CEO life right there, brother. So that's living the dream. I love it, man. All right. Well, cool, man. We'll appreciate you taking time for real to be on the show. I mean that when I say it, guys. I know you guys have successful companies too. And I don't care if you're 18 and you got 30 accounts. I don't care if you're 35 and running a $3 million outfit. I'm very grateful to, call you guys a friend, and hopefully you guys feel the same way. And honestly, I just really grateful that you guys take time to be on our show. I don't take it for granted. Really quick, where can people find you? Are you on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that mess? Maybe people can follow up with you and network and say, hey, if you're in Alexandria, Alabama, right? Is that where you said?
Yes, sir. So you can find me on Facebook at Real Deal Lawn Care, all separate words. I've tried to work on my Google business, and it says that I'm too young, even though the requirement's 18. So I don't have that figured out yet, but I've got to get on it. So for now, it's only Facebook. It's been doing its magic, but I've definitely seen how so many other people are able to grow on other platforms as well. So eventually I'll branch out. Just right now, I know that's what's holding me back. So
cool.
I've just got to work on it.
No, you're good, brother. Keep it going, keep growing, keep working on that branding, and keep working on all those different platforms. And the sky's the limit, man. So I love it. All right, man. Well, hey, go enjoy the rest of your day and be safe out there. And we'll hopefully see you on the highways and byways or at Equip or LAL or whatever it is. And we'll definitely catch up with you soon. All right, brother?
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Brian. I appreciate it.
You bet, man. All right, guys. Well, hey, guys, appreciate you listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. We'll kind of wrap some things up here. Appreciate you guys getting registered for Lawntrepreneur Academy Live, getting your tickets ready for Equip Expo. Almost to 200 tickets sold for LAL. And that's going to be kind of a gold rush to get them in before the early bird registration ends, which is October 2nd, which saves you $50. That's our live conference in Novi, Michigan. Go to lawnpreneuracademy.com to check that out. And that's what we got for you guys today.
Installing traditional snow stakes is time-consuming, expensive, and downright dangerous. Traditional fiberglass stakes cost as much as double, take twice as long to install, not to mention fiberglass splinters. That's where Plow-Right marking stakes come in. Our patented installation tool and carrying pack makes snow stake installation a breeze, installing up to 450 stakes an hour. Want the fastest and best snow stake system on the market? Look no further than Plow-Right marking stakes. Our stakes are made of hollow polypropylene, which will not crack, break, or splinter like traditional fiberglass stakes. 3 size options, 26, 36, and 46 inches, and 5 standard colors, orange, green, blue, red, and hot pink. Want more visibility than our standard stakes? Look no further than our reflective stakes, which sport a 2-inch 3M reflective band that is the highest grade reflective material ever put on a snow stake. Truly let your stakes be seen. Visit plow-right.com and order yours today. And make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% at checkout. The link is in the podcast description. And best of all, everything is 100% made in the USA. Hi, I'm Mr. Producer, and one more thing. If you're looking to stay up to date with the latest trends and insights in the world of lawn care, then you need our free email newsletter. It's delivered 3 times a week and includes a Monday motivational to kick off your week, a Wednesday what's new to keep you informed, and a Friday weekly recap of all the content we put out. Join our mailing list to stay connected to the world of lawn care and get exclusive access to the latest and greatest from Fullerton Unfiltered and Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Don't miss out on this opportunity to stay ahead of the curve and elevate your lawn care game. Sign up now with the link we've provided in the show description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.